Donald and Douglas were Scottish engines and the most versatile pair on the whole railway. They can handle both coaches and trucks without complaint, but are mostly seen hauling heavy goods trains together. One day, they were hauling an especially heavy train up Gordon's Hill. The rails were damp, making things difficult. "Nearly there, Dougie," Donald called, but Douglas was struggling. They were nearly at the top when suddenly his wheels started slipping violently. There was a loud bang and the train stopped. "Dougie, you alright?" "I think I've burst," whimpered Douglas. Henry arrived to take the train on, whilst Donald escorted Douglas to the works. They found the Fat Controller waiting for them. "One of your cylinders has burst, Douglas," he said. "You'll have to stay here for repairs. In the meantime, I'll have to find another engine to help you, Donald." And he walked away to make the arrangements. As Donald steamed back to the sheds, he couldn't help but wonder who the engine might be. "I hope it's a cooperative engine like Edward or Duck," he said to himself. "I'd work well with them." But the next day, he found the only other engine available was James, who was not at all happy about the arrangement. "Why should a splendid engine like me have to mingle around with dirty trucks?" he complained. "This is your line of work." "Ah, that's because me and Dougie know there's more important things than our image." "Clearly," muttered James, looking at Donald's dirty paintwork. "Have you got a problem?" "Mind your attitude." "Mine!" They argued for what felt like hours, throwing insults at each other about signal boxes and tar wagons. Their drivers had to intervene. "That's enough," they said. "The Fat Controller's relying on you two to work well together. There's a heavy train due today, and you two arguing isn't going to make things easier." The two engines stopped at once and went to collect their trucks. They were soon out on the main line. At each stop they made, the train became heavier. Come on, Donald called. "More steam." "I don't take orders from you," snapped James. They soon reached the last station, and James was uncoupled to take on water. Doug puffed up and spoke to Donald. Although he is a bit pompous, you have to admit he's a hard worker. "Aye, true. But his attitude can get too much sometimes." "Fair point. But give him a chance, and James can surprise you." James was soon coupled back on, and the two set off again. They hadn't gone far when Donald started to feel ill. His driver whistled to stop the train. "Now what?" grumbled James. "Donald's broken down," said James's driver. "The harbour isn't far. Do you think you can manage?" "I'll give it a go," said James doubtfully. Come on, he puffed, and slowly the train moved into motion. Soon, tired but triumphant, they arrived at the docks on time. "Well, consider me surprised," cheered Donald. James took Donald back to the works, and the Fat Controller came to see them. "Well done, James," he boomed. "Aye," said Donald. "I'm sorry I ever doubted you." "Thank you, sir. Does this mean I can go back to pulling coaches now?" asked James. I'm afraid not, James. With Donald at the works, Douglas will need your help." "Now you're going to have to impress this Scottish twin," teased Douglas. James looked down at his buffers. He knew he was in for a long week.